Hey everyone, once again this is Joe from Joyful Noise Productions, and in today's video I'm going to talk about something I've been meaning to talk about for the longest time. And one of the things I would try to do in my video, I try to bring out the music life. You know, it's what it is to be like a musician. One thing I want to talk about today is the joys of creating a rock band. Not really. But before we get any further, please do me a favor. Like this video, share it to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. And also hit the notifications button, and don't forget to comment on this, especially in something like this. Now, if you're an older musician like me, put down your personal experiences and what you've gone through, and that way we can be able to all talk about this together, especially to some of the newbies that are looking to build a rock band. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. What I'm going to share is something that happened to me, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us that have gone through it. The moment we picked up our first instrument. In my case, it's the guitar. Once we got bit by that bug that, man, this is cool, guess what? Now you want to be a rock star. You invest your time into playing, practicing, and try to create music. And all of a sudden, now, you know what? I want to bring together some guys that want to help me, that want to help me put this music together and to go on that road of rock stardom. However, there are some headaches that come with it. When it comes to finding musicians, it's very difficult and very trying to find musicians that are like-minded. Because one thing that a lot of musicians don't understand is that being in a band is like being in a relationship. First of all, you have to find the right people, and then you have to find the things to keep those right people interested and excited in the project. Because again, it's like a relationship. You got to kind of feed into it and bring out those things that are necessary. I come up with 4 things from my own personal experience as far as creating a rock band that can help you, if you're beginning to want to form a rock band, a bit easier. Now, these things they are the 4 A's of forming a rock band. So let's get into the first one. Advertise. When it comes to finding rock bands, you've got to put yourself out there. Having some music on your social media or even like on YouTube and SoundCloud, this will help attract potential band members to listen to. They want to see what you got. Now, in my personal experience, my rock band Lionheart, that's how I got my last drummer. What you're doing is you're letting everyone know that you're looking to put a band together. Sure, this is going to require you of getting out of the house. Obviously, one of the most easiest things to do is to post on Facebook groups. Now, another thing you could also be able to do is go to your local music store and post the flyers. Now, another way is also by attending local shows. Sometimes at local shows, you'll find musicians, and through that, if they like what you're all about, guess what? They're gonna want to join up and want to be a part of what's going on. Auditioning. This is one of the most grueling of all, but there is a way to weed out the bad ones. One thing you want to ask yourself, there's a question, are they on time? Because I used to run a business, and one of the sayings in business goes something like this. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. See, this will tell you a lot about the person. This determines their level of seriousness. Now, the next thing you want to find out is wondering if they can play, especially if you're being a bass player or a drummer. You want to show them you can, number one, be able to keep time and be able to stay in sync. Or if you can improvise, if you can do it accurately. This is what keeps what they call a tight unit together. Now, most of all is this. Did they learn the material? If they want to join your band, did they take the time to listen to at least one of the songs that you want to see they're willing to learn? This will help determine if they want to be part of the band that you are forming. Accountability. One of the things that a lot of people say that may not be a deal breaker, but to me, it's a deal breaker. And what is that? Number 1, does this person have reliable transportation? And number 2, and this is usually at the butt end of every joke of a lot of musicians, do they have a day job? Well, at least if one of these 2 things they do have, it'll show that they are willing to pull their weight. Because one thing a lot of people don't want is they don't want band members are going to be a drag or a burden on them. Because in reality, this can hurt. So when they have responsibilities and they're able to help shoulder the responsibility of being a band, guess what? It's going to help the band move a lot smoother. And it's going to be able to help with things like being able to pay for, things to promote your music. It's going to help for pay to plays in some clubs, which is unfortunately the case nowadays. Application. Does the bandmate have a good following on social media as far as his own peers are concerned? And not just that, are they willing to help being part of the creative music process? Now, let's just say your band gets a little more steam, and all of a sudden, boy, you guys are getting gigs like it's nobody's business. Now, the next level of that commitment comes to this: are they willing to play regularly, let alone if called to be able to get on a tour? See, this is what helps the band with the relationships. This is what helps them to continue to kind of grow, because now they're applying themselves to help be a part of something that's maybe even bigger than themselves, like social media. The person, if they really are into the band, they're gonna pass it on to all their friends. They're gonna tell their friends, "Hey, look I'm in this. Check this out. Hey, we'll go check out our cities. Go to our shows." That'll help out a whole lot in as far as being in band promotion is concerned. If you have a band member that doesn't have any of that, guess what? Your band is not going to go far. So it's very important that if you get a band member, that they got to help apply themselves in part of what you are doing. Because again, that is the key to success. When it comes to forming a band, once again, you got to drive home the point to each of these potential bandmates. A band is an investment. A band is a relationship. Usually the thing about forming a band is, it's an opportunity for me to show off my cool gear. Or in some guys, it's an opportunity for me to get chicks. Again, part of being in part of a music scene and being able to be a part of it is knowing that you're involved in something that's bigger than yourself. You're involved in community. You're being an example of someone who can be able to lead the way and be able to carve their own path. Someone who could be an eye canner, like they say. This is what helps as far as being what they call a force for good. You want to make sure that when it comes to forming a rock band, that this is what it is. It's an investment, and not just that, it's a relationship. And that's why you have bands like Aerosmith, you have Rolling Stones, or even like my favorite bands that have been out there like Striper, even like Creed. All those bands, they're still together because they understand this one thing. The music is bigger than they are. And what does it do? It makes them more adored and more loved without having to give that love, in spite of giving that love in return. That's just me. You guys tell me what you think. Maybe some guys may say, Joe, what does Joe know what he's talking about? He's probably just a YouTuber, just kind of just blurting out stuff like that. Or maybe some people say, you know what? Most of everybody, especially when it comes to this topic, are pretty much saying the same thing. They're trying to consider the fact that, building a band's going to take some work. Or maybe there's some of you that have been in bands and you can probably jump in the conversation and share what you've gone through with some of the bands you've been in. Let's talk about this. So once again, like this video, share it to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Now until the next video,